diet?
Again, very, very popular for quite a long time. And basically, it comes down to which blood group you are. So type A were the agrarians or the cultivators, the people who are type A, that would be Laura. They are supposed to eat a diet that's rich in plants and completely free of toxic red meat, and closely resembles a vegetarian diet. Type B, which are the nomads, can eat plants and most meats and also some dairy. However, they should avoid wheat, corn, lentils, tomatoes, and a few other foods. Type AB, the enigma, is a mix between types A and B, and they should be eating seafood, tofu, dairy, beans, and grains, and avoid kidney beans, corn, beef, and chicken. And type O are the hunters, and so these are the high protein diet based, largely on meat, fish, poultry, certain fruits and vegetables, but limited in grains, legumes, and dairy, and closely resembles the paleo diet. So whilst we said at the beginning we are all biochemically individual, that's sort of true and also sort of not true, because humans have thrived, actually, not in terms of our wellness, because of our capability to eat a variety of things. This again is incredibly reductionist. And whilst it might be, because they did tests with blood about what the blood responded to, better or worse, I don't know how they could tell, maybe the blood was having a little party in relation to some of the foods and not the others. But they were doing blood tests and checking the food with blood. But whilst it might be quite true that the blood groups themselves respond better to some foods, this isn't looking at it through the hormone lens. And actually, the main issues in the world today are because of hormone fallout. It's because of blood sugar imbalances, cortisol issues. So yeah, when it was 2000 years ago and type A's weren't dealing with the school run and weren't dealing with a load of stress and weren't dealing with loads of enzyme inhibitors on apples, maybe that would have worked. And maybe the type AB could do whatever they want apart from it. Maybe they could, but now we are dealing with so much stress in our environment, so much estrogen in our environment because of contraception, etc., 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 all of the other talks that we've done, so much blood sugar imbalance. We have to really look at the blood sugar destabilization first, then maybe hone in on the blood group diet if you really want to. But again, it's an incredibly reductionist and flawed argument, and now there's been a lot of science that refutes the blood group diet.
More. Yeah, there is no science to back this one up. I think also what the blood group diet misses is someone's microbiome. So if you've got a really compromised microbiome, and that is maybe someone who has had years of food intolerances, years of yo-yo dieting, years of antibiotic or medication, years of the pill, and has a very compromised digestion, it doesn't take into account that at all, or their hormone stage or profile. Is there anything else that we want to say here? There is some evidence that people with certain blood types can have a higher or lower risk of some diseases. So, for example, type O's have a lower risk of heart disease, but higher risk of stomach ulcers. However, there are no studies showing it's got anything to do with that or is affected by eating in the certain way. That's the bit of science that is missing from the blood group diet, is that blood group O's need to be eating this way. Blood group A's need to be eating this way. So there was a large observational study where young adults were eating a type A diet and they had better health markers, but this effect was seen in everyone following the type A diet, not just people who had type A blood group. So there's some real flawed science around the blood group diet.